comes in here, even when you're working on different places, he'll actually come round and sit there and watch us. Don't you, mate?
He's slipping off the couch there. It's alright when you can fly though, isn't it? Hi YouTube, welcome back to my garage. As you can see, I have made a small amount of progress on the engine side of things. I'm not going to talk about that today though, because today is all about getting these veneers back in the car. I've got the full set back now from JDK. I apologise for the long wait for this video. I'm still waiting on my custom piece for my glove box build, and in the meantime now I'm just going to put these veneers back in. It took them about two and a half months to turn these around, but it's well worth the wait. So I think I'm going to start with the easiest bit, which is these rear side cappings. If I remember correctly, these just push in. Oh, hang on a minute, that's nonsense, isn't it? I need to put the fittings on the back of everything. There's quite a lot of work to do, just realised. Right, let's find the bag of bits. I found the box of bits I removed. I forgot about all this. I got all giddy there that I could just start refitting veneers, but of course there's hours of slightly boring work to do before that. These go in that way. They're like recessed downwards, and then just screw back on. What do I do with the screws? Oh, they're all in this bag. Good. Just remembered one of these I used to just push in without these push-in fittings, because for some reason I think it was the driver's side. I can't remember. I don't know which one of these is which yet until I get in the car. It just didn't want to fiddle its way in, and it just sat in perfectly well without these bits on the back, if I remember rightly. But I'm just going to fit them all anyway. There's none on the back of that. I didn't explain this in the removal video because mine was all messed up because of my custom glove box malarkey. But this does, you can see the screw holes. It just screws onto the back of the glove box moving flap thing. We'll get to that later anyway. This is another one of these. It has 4 on. Right, that's that. 1, 2. Ah, that's it. Right, those. Yeah, I did take photos, but it's coming back to me now. So this goes on here. Helps if you put the clip in, doesn't it? Come on now. Seem to be short of clips. Right, okay, that's because, like I said, I wasn't putting these on all of them. I've got some spare clips though. Let me just dig those out. I'm going to put clips on everything and try and fit it all back OEM. I just spent about 20 minutes searching round the garage for the bag of extra spare bits, and of course I'd put them in the box like a sensible person ready for this rebuild. I'm just thinking, for my own OCD sake, I'm going to make all the clips the same colour. I don't know if they've got different properties. You know, these ones might be slightly longer. I don't know where those ones came from, but I want them all the same. It's just how I am. Hopefully I've got enough screws with me. Putting them all back how they should be. That's going to be the next question, isn't it? Sure I can find some suitable screws though, if not. Right, that's that lot all ready. These just screw into the back of the door cards, but these rear ones do have a clip at each end. I'm going to need 2 of those. And then they have one of these. Am I going to run out of screws? Let's just crack on and find out when we get to that stage. I'm going to use 2 more for that, and then 4. I think we're good. I don't quite know how, because I didn't have enough screws to start off with last time, but I must have gathered some from somewhere. Maybe they've been breeding in the bag, I don't know. Whatever, it's good news. It's one of those. One of them. Well, that doesn't have any. Good. I don't know where I got those extra screws from, but what's that for? And that. Oh, I'm sure it'll all come back to me as I start putting it back together. Let's do these first. Oops. Careful. Let's just check I've got access. Oh, I've got stuff and things in here. Oh, there's some glove box screws. Don't lose those. There's another one. Oh no, don't do that. No. Quick, get a magnet. Where'd it go? Gotcha. Oh, there's some more in here. I was going to say, why is there 3? There's not. There's 6. Right. Let's just pop that lot over there. It's part of glove box minibar rebuild progress, which is going well. I am just waiting. Righto. I don't know why that just fell over. That's my paint mixing sticks. Oh, I know why. They were held in with the Jag bits box, which I emptied, searching for bits for these, which were then in the box. That's what happened. Yes, glove box minibar rebuild is going quite well. I am just waiting on the last bit from JDK, and then hopefully as part of this video I'll show that as well, and the whole interior will be back together and which one goes where. So these, I remember, just slot in, and it's not that one because that's the wrong way round. So they just slot in at one end and then push in at the other, he says. Yeah, That should just do that. Right, managed to squeeze myself into the spacious rear that is an XJS. I just need to pop this back out again. I don't know what happened there, but it did not go in properly. Not quite sure why. Unless maybe those brass ones are for this. I think it just didn't want to push that fitting deep enough into that hole. Maybe those brass ones were off these ones. Maybe that's why. If they are, I can just go change them over. Because that does not want to go properly in there. You can see these brass ones are quite a lot smaller actually, so I think that's probably what my problem is. I should look back at my photos really, but I just can't be bothered right now. Just checking they can move as well. I think that one's quite loose, but this one's a bit stiffer, but it can move because they need to sort of find their way. I'm being very careful not to knock these together, by the way. Let's just climb back into the XJS. Which one is it again? The other one. Alright, hopefully this will be a bit more successful. Let's just hook it in there, that end. Find that hole. See, that's why they need to be able to move a little bit, just to locate. Would help if I had some light in here. I can't really see what I'm doing. Is that it? That is in. That is how it was. I feel like I may have bent. I can't believe I'm taking this back out again. I may have bent that tab a little bit when I was removing them. So, I'm not sure I can get that back out. Oh, yes, I can. Oops, there we go. That was quite easy actually. Yeah, I'm just thinking that maybe needs to be a bit more like that. To make it tighter, or is it? Yeah, that's better. I've got to find this hole again. There we go. Right. That's much better. Yeah. So I just needed to bend that tab. When I took it out, I must have damaged that slightly. Let's do the window while we're in here. Yes. So let's do the same with that tab. Just bend it round a bit just to make sure we get a tight fit. The hole is located and that's, I think, clicked in. Didn't hear a click, but I'm going to say that's in. Nice. Let's move on to the front door cards. Let's just move some of these out of the way. I found the bag of bits for the front door cards. There's one of those per side to fit the door card itself, and then should be 2 long screws to fit the door handly bit, and then there's an assortment of screws that I've changed over the years and washers to fit these on. I think when I got the car, both of them were sort of hanging off slightly, so I did take the door cards off and I replaced the screws. However, it's very important to make sure that the screw is short enough that it doesn't come through and puncture the veneer, because if it even touches the veneer, it puts a little mark on your veneer, which I'd done previously. Obviously now these are new veneers, I don't want to do that again. So that screw there, for example, which is probably not an original one, may be too long. I'm going to have to be very careful. Let's unwrap one of the door cards. These have been in storage for ages now. I made sure they were completely covered up because I've been doing a lot of painting in the garage, and anything that's not covered anyway gets covered in paint dust. that is the passenger side. So, actually I want to start with the driver's side, because I'm not going to film the passenger side. It's the same process. I've got much better access for the driver's side. It's a bit of a faff opening the passenger side door at the moment, so I'll use the driver's side for this example of how to refit, and then you can just see the finished passenger side once I've done the process again in my own time. Where am I going to put this to work on it? Here, maybe. So, which one's the driver's side? We want, whoops, we want the angle going that way, so that's the driver's side one. I did contemplate having that Jaguar emblem put on them, but I decided against it. I thought it was best to keep it understated and classy. Where's me box of self-tapping? There. I put it the wrong way round. You just go there. Should be that way round so I can see what's in the box. I got anything in here? There's these nice fat self-tappings, which I've just done one with a washer, a little small washer, and then the larger washer. That seems about right. I've got the right length and nice fat thread. I've just done the middle one and it seems to be holding. So let's just pop one, hopefully this end. So they don't need to be screwed up very tight. It just needs to be nipped. That's just going to hold that in. That's good. What I don't want to see is a circle appearing here. That's on. Good. Right, so that's that done. Now it's the fun part of trying to get the door card on the actual car. Just move my shoes out of the way. Not quite. Oh yeah, I ended up barefoot because I was going in the car. So, if I remember rightly from doing this previously, I'm going to need to connect that cable up first. That connects on here and is for something. Where's the... Oh, I don't know what... Yeah, it's probably for that light there. Yes, it is. When you open the door, there's a little danger light that illuminates. That's what that's for. Can't talk because my mouth's too cold. Yeah, you've got two locators here, which are for this prong, and it's quite hard to film at this angle. I'm going to break my neck. There's another one there. Yeah, there and there. And then these two have to slot in here. So we need to connect that up and then lift it up. And then I think what I do is I kind of get that middle one half lined up, and you just kind of violently have to put it all down. It's all got to go over this. It's a fight, if I remember rightly. After some fighting, I have figured something out. You need that out the way over there. Otherwise, it just gets in the way. And if it's over there, you can't then get it back after you've slotted everything on. So for some reason, if you pull the handle out and do that, that then will stay there. If you try and put it over normally, it just keeps wanting to go back that way. I can't quite work out what's going on with the door mechanism, but that keeps it there, out of the way. You can then click your connector back on. I did have this on, by the way. I've taken it off just to show you guys. These two, they go in easily. It's these ones that are a pain in the ass. So if you get it roughly lined up, and now that handle's not fouling it as much, you then got to focus on these ones will probably just slot in. I'm not saying they will certainly, but 9 times out of 10 they do. So if you focus on getting these top ones in, which I think I've done there. Yeah, that's in. That's in. Those middle two, like I said, 9 times out of 10 do slot in. So that's now in. You just need to make sure you're lined up. And that's it. So I think doing that with the handle is the way forward. And now, of course, it can just go back to how it needs to be. Now there's some push fittings. I'll try and show you them. I should have showed you them before. So they're just these stupid one use, really, plastic push fittings around the edge, which aren't quite lined up, but they're near enough. Is there another one there somewhere? Probably supposed to be, but I haven't got it. I know there's another, yeah, there's another push fitting down here. I may need to get my camera down there to see where the hole is. Where is it? Can't find a hole there anywhere. Oh, maybe it's, there, it's on the outside. That's that one. I'm going to have to do this one at the same time. They're getting a bit worn, they've been on and off so many times. I may need to find some thicker fir tree clip for that one. Yeah, that's just not doing anything. What you can do is wrap a little bit of insulation tape around them. I don't know if I can get it out. Yeah, it just goes that way. There we go. So what's happened is over the years it's just got all crushed up. So I'll try just popping all the fins back out, and if not, I'm going to wrap. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to wrap a bit of insulation tape around it. Tape. Basically do to it what I'm going to do to my body over Christmas, which is increase its girth. That is the shittiest insulation tape in the world, isn't it? It's fine. It just needs to hold on long enough to squish into that hole. So that's now too big, probably, for the hole. But we'll see. Now I've got to fight and put this back on. This one-way slidey type affair. I think I actually did that first time. That's unheard of. Let's find the hole again. That's just not worked at all because we weren't actually in. Fuck's sake. Fucking faff this is. Car designers, by the way, these type clips just don't ever work. Come up with something better, will you? There you go. That's now well and truly stuck in there. Just locate that bottom one, which is fairly loose as well. Let's see if we can do the same trick on that one. Can I get it out? Which way has it got to go? Up. There we go. Where's the... somewhere there. That's got it. I don't know. Where's the hole at? Down a bit. Is that it? No. Don't think we're on. Not in the door card properly yet. There we go. Felt that slide in there. There's a lot of euphemisms going on here, but we'll just brush past that. Find the hole again and give it a good hard. There we go. That's got it. That one hasn't popped out. That one's a screw job. While these are off, by the way, I did actually make a video of it, and then it was back in summer and I never got around to editing it. But I gave these a new coat of paint. They had a few blemishes and rust actually on them because these are metal. So I did actually strip them down and make them all glossy again. You can still just see where the little witness of the rust is in the light, but it's much better than it was. So that's good. That's now nice and tight on there. Let's get that screw in. I think I was happy with this side. Those ones didn't seem too bad. If I remember rightly, yes, there's 2 screws here and here. So let's go grab a screw. This isn't the original screw, but it's what I've been using. Where's my screwdriver gone? That one will maybe do. Yes. This is the screw I've been using for years anyway, so you can just see it's got a little plug behind. So that just needs pulling in. That's all nice. It's a bit dusty here. That needs a clean, doesn't it? They must go into plugs in the door and just hold the bottom of the door card in. That screwdriver is useless. Let me get one that will actually fit those. Where's my favourite little screwdriver? There it is. That's the one. That's better. Let's just nip it up. So this is where you realise you haven't remembered to plug that light switch in, and you've got to take the whole door card off again to find it and connect it. So remember to do that before connecting everything up. That's that. Then we need one of these and one of these. Don't think it matters which is which, they're both the same. That's for the other side now. And we need to, whoops, never filming in the right place, am I? Need to pull that around and rotate it out of the way. That's it. And that exposes the screw hole. And you can actually see the witness mark of which way this connector goes. This is for this thing to slot into and make it look all pretty. So I need to, what am I doing? I'm being a complete retard here. Right, that goes behind there. I was having a bit of a special moment there. And get screwed in like so. Let's just get it started and then I'll straighten everything up. You can see why you've got to rotate that out of the way now. Let's just get that in its correct position. Yeah. Which is there. Okay, that's nice and tight. That can then rotate back around and it pushes onto there somehow, and I can't remember how now. Does it go that way? Or does it go that way? Which way did I do it there? I don't know which way it was, but it went on. I think it was down and towards the front. And I can't get it off now to show you. God, you stubborn bastard. I'm just going to leave that because I can't be asked to do it. I will figure that out on the other side. Need to give that a bit of a clean. Yeah, I'll figure it out on the other side and then I'll put at the bottom here which way. I think it was towards the front of the car. Where's my brake cleaner gone? And a nice clean cloth. Let's just give that door card a little clean. And then once I'm finished with this job, where is my brake cleaner? Oh, I put it away. once I finish this job, what I'll do is I'll give these leather door cards a good soaking of leather conditioner. That's not a mark, actually, that's just damage in the leather after all these years of faffing about. Same here, this sort of thing. Just general wear and tear, unfortunately. Maybe many years from now, I will have someone come in and do some leather restoration on this car. Let's just get rid of that dust while I'm in here, shall we? Right, so that is the driver's side door card complete. I'm going to do exactly the same process on the passenger side. That's the passenger side fitted. I think because I tightened up that screw really tight this time, that's made them a really good fit. It means they're going to be a bit of a pain in the ass if I ever want to take them off again. So just a word of caution, it might be worth leaving that screw that went through that thing and into the door a little bit loose, just to give you a bit of manoeuvrability at a later date, but I'll worry about that another time. Let's get in the car. A lot of loom stuff going on down there, but I'll just work around that and get some of this centre console stuff in. If I remember rightly, this is a pain in the ass. The computer and stuff and things have to come out for it to come out. So let's tackle that first. Squeeze in here. I've got no battery, so I can't move my seat backwards. So fitting it is a 2-second job, and then I've got to fit all the crap that goes in here on top of it, basically. So it's just two. I don't think it matters which way up it goes either. It's just two locating pins, one here and one there, and it literally just pushes in place. And then you fit all the computer gubbins. Which side? What's that for? What's that for? I can't remember any of this. I could obviously watch my video, but I'm going to figure it out. Let's go have a look in the box of bits that I took out. See what I can figure out. Whoops. Yeah, you just go over there then. That's going to annoy me. Will you just stop it now? Just behave yourselves. Oh, that's ski slope bollocks. That's done. That's ski slope bollocks. That's ski slope, we'll get to that. That's an empty bag. Here we go. Here, that's what those other connectors are for. Of course, there's buttons, isn't there? Right, one computer that rattles, slightly worryingly. At least I know how to remove it now if I need to. Yeah, I know they're the ones because I ended up super gluing the washer in place, because otherwise that was just another level of stupidity. So I've got to get that in there and then screw these in with no visibility and no dexterity whatsoever. What size are them? I remember this being an absolute pain in the ass. Are they 7? Are they 8? They're not 8. They are a 7. But obviously there's no way of holding them in that socket. I think I used grease last time. And you're going round a corner because basically you haven't got any access at all. So you've got to have the bolt in place, get it in, and then somehow tighten it up. Let's just go and let's get some grease anyway. Bearing grease. And there's more of these little screws. I swear they're reproducing. You go there. Let's just plug the computer in and just assess the situation. Yes, I'm going to have to get a light in here. I can't see very well. That's connected. That goes in there. Don't scratch me, veneer. You can see now, you see you've got to take all of this out to get that centre piece of veneer out. and those screws that I just showed you go, let me just pop the camera off my head and turn the light on. They go, you can just see there, where's my finger? There, inside there, that white, come on, focus on that. There we go. I finally managed to get it focused. Yeah, those two tiny little 7mm bolts, you've somehow got to get in there without it falling off, because if it falls off, you're never going to find it again. Let me just pop you back on my head. So, what's that there? Oh, it's just a random screw. Right, so let's make sure they're out of my way. Can I pull them through here? No. I don't want to do it. I know I'm going to drop it and then I'm going to be annoyed. Right, is this brand new? Oh, yes, it is. Let's just pop some grease on there. Hopefully, that's going to hold it enough for me to just get it started. I think I'm going to have to start it by hand and then get the ratchet. I really can't remember how I did this last time, is what's happening. I think it's actually threading in on this side. I'll just tighten it up, finger tight, and then tighten up the other side, finger tight, and then nip it up with the ratchet if I can get in there. Oh, I've got a cramp in my hand. How much further have you got to go? Right, that'll do for now. Right, let's do the same on the other side. Just slide in the excuse me, passenger seat. Right, let's see if I can get a better angle now. That bleed is being incredibly annoying. Fuck off up there. There we go. Right. What's the chance of me finding this? Where is it? Somewhere there. I tried doing it with the camera before, but it was just pot luck whether I found it or not with my sense of... see, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. I can actually see everything, so now I've got to get out, go find a magnet, come back, get all that out, do it all again, probably drop it another 500 times. And at some point today, I'll have the bloody thing on. Get out of my way. Magnet, magnet, magnet. I've already had the magnet out, haven't I? This is what happens when you don't put stuff away. Right. Loving having the garage door open, but it's the only way I can get around the passenger side of my car right now. It's just so greasy now. However, I'm gently hopeful. Yes. I'm just trying to nip it up as much as I can by... Oh, fuck. Oh, that really did fuck off this time. I think that might be the end of my 7mm socket. Where the fuck did that go? Let's just fish about down in there with the magnet. Oh, oh! I didn't expect to get that back. Just nip that up. That's nice. That's enough. There we go. There. Right. I'm glad that's over with. That was a pain in the ass. Let's refit these. These just push in. Why they couldn't have just made that pull in and out, I don't know. Oh, thank you, grease. You were most useful. I want that and that. Do all this from the driver's side now, I think. And I seem to remember these are different. Yeah, they do different sockets, so you can't mix up the sides. What you can do is put them upside down. I did figure out. So that's your lights, and they want to go that way up, 1 and 2, and these should just push in, and then that's that. Make sure the sockets, the connector's out of the way. That's not being very successful, is it? I feel like I'm pressing against something. Maybe that connector needs to go down, up, sideways, just any way out of the way. There, that would be nice if you sodded off up there. For fuck's sake. Why is everything... Let's just do the other one, see if the other one's any easier. Why is everything being so difficult tonight? Which way up do you go? I have no idea. I'm going to say that way. If not, I'll have to see that one. That one feels better. That was fine. Right. Definitely something getting in the way of this one. Must be this cable here. I'm fighting against. Is that better? That felt better. Is that in? Are you in? I think so. Oh no, buttons aren't coming back out again. Those ones are. Why are these being dicks? That means they're not happy. It means something's not right. Oh, I'm going to have to pull that back out again now. I really didn't want to do that. Right, that's in. I've got grease all over my fingers. I'll clean all that off the veneer in a minute. I don't know why it wouldn't go in properly. It ended up wanting to go in this side first. No, this side first, and then clicked in that side. I don't know how. It must have been getting fouled up on something. But they are all in. Next, I'll fit the stuff along the top here. I'm going to do the glove box. This is a replacement glove box lid. So I need to unscrew this elm veneer, and we'll remove this as well. Let me jump in the passenger side basically. Actually, while I'm sat here in the passenger side, let's fit this centerpiece for now. I've just got to locate the holes. There we go. There's 4 on this one, so that should just click in, and it has. And then we've got to find the correct one's longer than the other. That's the passenger side one, the longer one, so I want this one. And like I said, I had an issue with this before where it wouldn't click in with the piece, and it just doesn't seem to want to fit in this corner. I don't know if this has got misshapen at some point. I don't really know how, but it seems a bit of a fight to get in. So I was actually just pushing the old one in without its locating clicky things. Let's see if I can do it with them in. It doesn't feel very good. Well, I managed it. I had to kind of locate that corner in first, squeeze it in, and then actually get my finger in and force the clips over to the holes, and then it went in. So I guess maybe you need to tuck that corner in first. Anyway, it's in with its clips. That's never coming out again. That one's done. I can go put that passenger side one in from over there, and we can tackle this glove box lid. I do have a battery as well, ready just to connect up, so I can close the glove box, and then at least we get to see how this looks for now. This is why I was waiting for the other piece, because I kind of wanted to do it all at the same time. But hopefully by the end of this video the glove box will all be rebuilt as well. Well, I've just connected my little auxiliary battery. Whoops, don't you fall off there and scratch yourself. You just sit there. And of course I know it's working because all the lights are on. So when this is working, this push button would turn the lights off, and obviously then when it opens the lights will come on, but they're going to get quite annoying, so I'll just disconnect them for now. So it should be just a simple case of unscrewing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. And then screwing the new piece on, basically. Oh yes, I've got to take this original lock off. So this car originally would have had, let me just show you. I mean, if you know the XJS, you know what a glove box looks like. This car originally would have had this style with the manual lock. Later cars did away with the glove box and they put the the airbag in there. And they just replaced this with a panel that looks similar to this with no lock. And it says SRS down the bottom. I've gone for that look. Previously, I'd actually used the hole and filled it with a Jaguar. It was actually off a keyring, so I had a Jaguar logo in there. I did contemplate putting something on this bit of veneer, but to be honest, I think it's going to look better just completely plain. I did contemplate putting SRS, so it looked like it was a later model, which maybe I should have done. I don't know. There was a lot of decisions to make at the time. Let's just finish unscrewing this. Just ignore these LED lights, by the way, there. It'll all make sense when it's all back together. Is that it? Oh, of course, it's being held in by the lock, isn't it? So to undo the lock, what you need to do, by the way, it took me a while to figure this out, is turn the lock. If you try pushing that in by hand, it only goes so far and then you can't get it out. But if you turn it with its mechanism, it goes all the way in. You can then unscrew this nut, which then, because you've put it all the way in, will come off and over, and then holding it in its open position, you can fiddle it out through the hole, he says. I can't remember how to do this now. There we go. That's that. So now, oh, there's a screw behind there, you see. That's why it's not coming out. There's the old, that's not even mine, that just came with this glove box lid. Which way around does this go? Yes, it's got a slightly rounded top. They've actually veneered the back of this as well for me. There was a reason for that and I can't remember why they did that for me, but it looks for, oh, that was it. It was because they wanted this top edge to look nice. I don't know. Let's just check. We've got the screw located correctly. And I'm safe with these screws because they're the original ones, so they shouldn't go through and puncture the veneer. That's looking very nice. There'll be a bit of fettling to do later with this glove box. You kind of have to manipulate the hinges. You have to get a bit violent with it, I've learnt in the past, and then make sure that when it's closed, this all lines up perfectly. There is a bit of trial and error goes into it, so I'm not going to worry too much about that now. But I would like to just have it closed. So we're going to get blinded again for a sec here. That should close. And hopefully my limit switch is set up correctly, but I'm just ready with the stop because I've got an immensely powerful overkill actuator down there, and if the limit switch fails, it just keeps pulling and breaks things. So that's good. That did stop. When this is finished, once it's like that, it will go completely dark and look like that. That line's not too bad. We do need to do a bit of fettling there later, but that can come later on. This just slots in here. He says. Oh, there we go. That bit there is terrible. That join there. What I will probably have to do is space this one out slightly. So basically this will sit kind of more like that. I'm going to play around with that later. There's always, because I've messed about with the glove box, it's always a little bit of play, but there's no point in me worrying about that until I actually rebuild the glove box. Now, before we can fit the ski slope, we've got quite a few bits to put on it. I'll start off with the seal that goes around the gear selector. That just should just slot on. I'm going to put a bit of lube on that actually, just to help it. There we go. Why do they have to put labels on microfiber cloths? So annoying, because all you have to do is pull them off, because there's a risk of scratching things if you don't. Alright, it's looking a little bit wonky, but I think it'll figure itself out over time. Does that look wonky to you? We'll see what it looks like when it's in. Let's put the ashtrays on next. Okay, so if I remember rightly, you pop the ashtray in. Now, do we want it opening that way or that way? Oh, I don't know. I think that way. You'd want it away from you, wouldn't you? I'm going to go with that for now. I can always change it if later. And then that bit sits and bridges at the back, and there's two screws that go down through those holes, whoops, into those plugs there. A little bit of a faff until it's all actually connected. There's one. Where's the other one gone? There it is there. Do the same on the other side. If we're sat like that, with smoke a cigar, and we want to stub it out as easily as possible up front. I don't know exactly which way everything's supposed to go, I'll be honest, but that's what I'm going for now. Right, that's all looking lovely. What have we got here? So we've got our cigarette lighter. The bezel on this is in good condition. It's still got its 4 clips, so that will snap in and hold itself in place. That's that. Right, these are the window switches, and these have the common problem. If I just zoom in, you can just see we've lost the locating clip there. This one's lost half of it, and well, there's the other bit just gone. That one's lost half of it as well. They're just crap. However, there's a company now 3D prints them. They're called Octo Classic or something. I'll put the name at the bottom here, and I will put the link in the description. I've got to be completely honest though, and this is going to be an honest review. Window switch bevel, absolutely fantastic. I did get them to do me a cruise control one because my cruise control bevel is also suffering the same problem. However, that was crap. I actually was going to send it back for a refund and I never got around to it. So they've made £45 off me there, but that's fine. And I've just got to work out which way up this goes actually. Let's just put the bezel in anyway, and then I'll figure out the window switches when we're in the car. So this should just pop in. And now, I was going to say, now it's got 4 locating things. It won't pop out. That did just pop out rather easily there. Hopefully that's going to hold itself in. Otherwise, I'll be giving them a really shit review because that's really not very good actually. And it's better than having... Are you fucking joking me? Well, that's just snapped straight off. I'm actually quite annoyed about that. That wasn't holding very well at all. That was another 40 quid. Do you know what? Octo Classic, you're shit. The reason I was pissed off about the speed control thing is I've got it here, a spare one. I'll just put some video up. You can see originally the writing is printed into the plastic, and the thing they sent me, hopefully it's on the screen now, as you can see, is just a sticker stuck on, which was just shit. So I was going to send that back for a refund and I never got around to it. I was hoping this window bezel was going to be much better, and evidently it's not. So what I've done previously in the past is I've gone behind here and I put a line of hot glue, and that hot glue overlaps and holds everything in place. With the window, you can go in the bin. With the window bezel, it's slightly different because it's quite a big piece. So what I have done in the past again is I've gone behind here and I actually put a piece of metal across here with hot glue. Obviously I don't want to screw into that, and then more hot glue around here, and it's just permanently fixed onto the ski slope there. Right, it's far from pretty, but that will do. I might need to redo it later with, I think I actually used Araldite on a previous attempt on this metal bar, and that really did hold the window switches in place. But they are in place now. They're not popping up. I'm not going to push them too hard, and I'm going to try and be careful when I install it. But that is now ready for installation. Let's just pop back in the car. I've just switched that seal round and it seems a bit happier, so maybe it is one way only. I don't know if that's just because that's the way round it was. It all looks the same shape. Anyway, that seems to have helped. So yeah, pull your gear stick back, slot it in at the front, and then it's a case of connecting up the connectors without pushing out my newly glued thing. So I'm going to start with the cruise control. There we go. There's a T shape there. So I'm just looking, you can't see, but I'm just looking to locate it on the bottom of the... Is this where I realise I've put the switch in upside down? Wouldn't be the first time. Nope. There we go. Yeah, I'm just locating that on the connector and then clicking that into place. That's that. Then we'll go do over here. There is somewhere down in here. There we go. A twin black connector which goes on there like that, and then this single one on its own that I'll show you in a sec, but goes on behind it or in front of it. Whoops. So twin one there, and then a single one goes on in front of it here. There's then this, oh god, it's hard to film at this angle. There's then this green connector which obviously connects up to its green connector. It's actually easier if you do that by resting your hand like so and clicking that in. Oh. And then that just leaves the window connectors. So again, it's the same as the cruise control. Find that T piece in the middle. Locate them on. This is where your window switch bezel likes to pop up and break things, by the way. So try and press down on the window switches as much as possible during this process. Has that gone on? It felt a bit sticky. I like to hear it click. Make the clicking noise. Oh, okay. Also, just be aware, they like to catch on this little shelf here. And again, that's another time when you'll break your bezel. So just make sure you ease it past there. And then you've got as good a chance of anyway, of getting all this down without any of this stuff breaking free. Once it's in, it shouldn't. It's those points where it gets trapped that they get popped up. Obviously now, like I said, you're supposed to connect up two at the side there, but I've never found any issue with it lifting up in the middle, so I'm not going to worry about that now. I've just realised I've put everything ready and I forgot to bring a bloody screwdriver, didn't I? So it's just one screw for me at the back. I'm not going to do that up too tight because I don't want to risk cracking this nice new lacquer. There used to be an awful big scratch down here where the previous owner had obviously pulled this out incorrectly and must have caught the radio or something. It's really nice seeing that's not there anymore. Then this black plastic bit sits over that screw that you just screwed in. It's just got two screws, one at each side, holding it down. And that's the ski slope installed. Minus its side bits. I am aware now. Okay, I'm learning. Maybe one day I'll tackle them, but not today. There we go. That's better. So that's that in place. You can close that. I've just spent a couple of hours fettling the glove box close position to try and best match up the veneer. I'm pretty happy with that now. It's a bit of a temporary affair. I've just stuck some foam in at the minute, but that gives me an idea of the spacings required. I just thought I'd show you while I've got everything uncovered, the very basics of what's going on behind here. Let me just turn the light on. So it looks a bit of a crazy mess, because it is, but basically we've got our power supply coming in. I used to run this off the this light here. I'd actually wired up the lights so that I bridged it from the right to the left, so that whenever the right one came on, the left one came on, which is what you want anyway. That freed me up a very low power constant supply, but it wasn't completely constant. It would obviously be on when the doors were open and if I pressed the interior light. So that was how I had it for years. I've decided now I'd like a constant 12 volt supply. I'm actually going to run a dedicated supply from the battery while I've got all these sides exposed. I'm hoping I can run a cable out along the headliner, down the A-post and into here somewhere, where then I can tap into that, and that will basically replace this 12 volt auxiliary battery that I'm using at the minute. So if you imagine this is coming off the main battery, then it is just powering an actuator. The power actually goes up into here. Under here is a remote control unit that's powered by this very simple fob. And on the end of, well, what is the vehicle glove box frame, which is that circular sort of piece of metal, it's got things attached to it. There's all sorts of homemade equipment going on there. There's a very bodged on limit switch there you can just make out. So that's, as soon as that's pressed, even very slightly, that reverses the polarity and stops the glove box. So I've set that so that it stops the glove box just when I want it. So what happens is, if we just operate it, I press the button, it opens to the open position. Now right now I'm not sure I've got that 100% flat, so I may have to adjust the cables once I get the piece from JDK to sit here, pop my glasses on. I'll see how much that weighs it all down. That's why I've left it deliberately a bit high, because I know once there's stuff on here it's going to be pressing down like that a little bit. If it's not correct, I can adjust it with the cables, which I'll show you in a sec. So then to close it, we just press that once, let go, and the limit switch does its job. So there it stops exactly where I want it every time. If the limit switch was to fail for any reason, the actuator keeps extending and all manner of hell breaks loose because it's attached with two bicycle gear cables. I've made some makeshift routing. One goes to one side. I don't know if I can get the camera up in there. The glove box is hinged left and right, and then I guess you'd call these guides. They're just guides on the original glove box. They go behind here and there's a little bend. So it's to stop the glove box opening beyond its open position. I've drilled a hole in here and the other end of that cable is attached. It then goes into some bicycle gear routing, which ends up, oh there, you can just see where it's going in there. So it goes in there. I made a little bracket there to support it, and the gear routing comes round and attaches, whoops, there to the actuator. And then yeah, when the actuator is extended, the glove box is closed. Very simple really. It's just a bit of a car crash under there, but all of that is hidden behind whatever that thing's called. So there you go, with all that in place. Obviously you can't see any of that stuff. If you look carefully underneath, you can just see the actuator sticking out. Obviously these power cables won't be there. The gear cables are all cut off and made tidy, and obviously normally the carpet's all in here, and all that wiring behind there is an external loom that goes into the engine bay, so that's not normally there. So it all looks completely standard, albeit now it looks more like the airbag model. Like I said, I'm still sort of thinking I probably should have gotten to write SRS there, just so it genuinely looked like a later airbag model. And then obviously it's got that hidden surprise of pressing a fob and a glove box comes out. I may regret not doing that. I just had to make some quick decisions at the time. I guess if I really wanted to, I could maybe add that later. They could probably stick it over the lacquer and then put me another couple of coats of lacquer on. So it's easy to unscrew that panel if I want to do that at a later date. So yeah, that's obviously, like I said as well, you can just see a bit of light leaking out here, but normally my plan is anyway, when the glove box closes, it'll close that switch and automatically turn the lights off, and then when you click the button it'll open, which will release the switch and turn the lights on. Just looking from this angle, I do still have a little bit of work just to line up that glove box. You can just see it's just slightly misaligned. Interestingly though, just by chance I saw a Facebook link to a very low mileage XJS that's on auction at the moment. It's doing very well. I don't know if it's sold yet, but for such a sought after example, I was actually surprised to see when I was just looking through the photos for a laugh, that their veneers are misaligned at exactly the same point. So perhaps maybe Jaguar never actually got these lined up very well from the factory. Maybe I'm worrying a bit more than I should be. If you just look at the photos there, they're pretty much identical to how mine are at the moment, but I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to try and make sure that I get that aligned as best as possible. Feel free to comment in the comment section, by the way, if yours are misaligned and I'm just being picky. Maybe that's just by design, but I think I can do better. Well, as it's Christmas Eve, and unfortunately JDK haven't managed to complete that custom piece, I'm not going to get the glove box done before Christmas, so I think it's best to wrap this video up here. Wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I probably won't do anything now until the new year because I've got quite a lot of family engagements and hopefully see some friends up north, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm happy I've got the veneers back in. I will pick up the glove box as soon as JDK get that done. This custom piece that I'm asking for is turning out to be a bit of a pig, I'll be honest, which is why it's taking so long. So thank you guys for some beautiful veneers. I look forward to getting that custom piece sorted in the new year. To all of you, including my viewers, thank you so much for watching over the last year, and there'll be a lot more progress on this engine very soon. See you then. Bye bye.